I'm Manouk Akopyan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our partners, personal injury attorney Nelson Gavorkian.
And as far as that card, Usyk Fury, how do you see the rematch going?
I think Usyk wins by stopping.
You think he's going to stop him this time?
Yeah, I thought Usyk. I predicted Usyk for the stoppage the last fight, but I also, when Tyson came in lighter, I was like, oh, maybe a little bit more interesting now. I just think Usyk is too stubborn. His speed is too stubborn. I just think his style is too stubborn for Fury to put up with. And I think the punches that hurt you the most are the punches you can't see. And most of the time, Usyk is hurting guys. It's with the shot they don't see. You don't have to be a hard puncher to get guys in trouble. And Usyk has a good understanding of that because the shot that he actually hurt Tyson with, it was a blindsided shot. It was blindsided, the ones that come from around here. So it's just one of those things. It was good.
So what do you think Fury needs to do to pull it out from the rematch?
I'm going to give you a good consumer answer. This is what boxing consumers think. He's bigger, so he should just walk right to him. Should nobody just walk right to Oleksandr Usyk? No, Usyk shouldn't. I mean, Fury should just walk right to him. I think Fury get beat worse if he just walk right to him. I believe he'll be walking in all kind of traps if he just walk right to him. I truly, I don't know. I just don't think Fury can beat Usyk. I really don't.
As someone who game planned for him throughout the trilogy,
Yeah.
you really think Tyson Usyk has Tyson's number?
Yeah, because the mentality that he has now is, the crunk style. I don't think the crunk style can beat Oleksandr Usyk. I think the Ben Davison style probably could give Usyk some trouble, but I don't think that like the new imposing, bigger, coming forward. I don't think that really gives that Oleksandr Usyk fight big men very well.
You think?
As you can see,
Is there a heavyweight in the world that could beat Usyk? I know you got Wilder, but is there a heavyweight?
yeah, I think stylistically, I think to beat Usyk in a 12-round fight, I think you have to possess serious power that can literally separate him from his senses. If you can't do that, you're going to lose. And we all know who got that kind of power to separate somebody from their senses. We all know who that guy is in the division.
If Deontay doesn't get the fight, is there anyone else you think who could beat Usyk in the division? Or are we talking about a generational great who's going to go down undefeated?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't know. I really.
He's nearing 40, so he's running out of time too.
He beat Anthony Joshua twice. He beat Dubois. He beat Tyson Fury. He beat the ones that come like, bro. He indirectly is kind of cleaning out the division.
Yeah.
The only one he hasn't ran across was the one with the Alabama Slammer. So we're gonna see if he really want to make history. He should make that stop there too.
Let's talk about the heavyweight. You're back in Deontay Wilder.
Yes.
Things haven't gone his way the last couple fights, but what's the future looking like, Deontay? Is he still going to be fighting moving forward?
He definitely wants to fight again, for sure. He definitely is going to fight again. 2025 is coming up, so some good things should be happening. But right now, he's just been resting, doing every other good thing in his life that requires his time. Family, business. He's heavy in real estate. So it's good, man. I think when you're in the second half of your career and you end these high-level fights with these bigger guys, I think the time you get your rest is just as imperative as the times that you have to rip and run. So it's good.
What do you think went wrong in the Parker and Zhang fights?
Parker and Zhang.
Good heavyweights, world-ranked guys.
Sometimes the actual opponents is the problem. People don't like to say that, though. They'd rather say everything Deontay didn't do, everything I didn't do, everything this person didn't do. That kind of, to me, it takes credit away from what Joe Parker is, what his training system is, what Andy Lee, what Zhang and Sean George bring to the table. So, yeah, what's up? Deontay supposed to win those fights? Absolutely. But then again, this is boxing. It's heavyweight boxing. And things happen, man.
Wait, you are mourning.
Yeah, more.
Like, I'm so sorry.
With the conversations you've had with him, what's the outlook looking like? Is 2025 kind of the last hurrah, the make or break year for him?
I mean, without saying that, I think all fighters, when they're on the second half of their career, everything is like it's make or break for them. But in the heavyweight division, especially when you one of the hardest punches in the history of the sport, he's always at a high level boxing entertainment type of space. Like, you know what I mean? People love seeing Deontay Wilder fight. The last 2 fights we haven't went on outside, obviously, but that's boxing. Fuck boxing. That's just life. Sometimes things don't go according to plan, and you got to give your credit to the opponents that you fought, and you got to come back stronger, better.
With he just didn't seem like he was just letting that right hand go. What was holding him back, you think?
I don't know. He just couldn't pull the trigger, and a lot of people have questions. Well, why couldn't he pull the trigger? He should have did this. Malik should have made him do that. Malik should have this. He should have did this. He got it. So much stuff. Man. At the end of the day, he's human. At the end of the day, I'm human. Like, I'm a trainer. He's a fighter. You know what I mean? Right. He go in there and try his best. It don't go our way. And you live to fight another day. Pardon me.
That jet lag kicking in?
Man. Can't stand jet lag. Because it makes you groggy and irritable. You know how it goes. But yeah, man, expect to see Deontay. I mean, like I said, 2025 is coming up.
Seems like that AJ match is back on the table now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think like the numbers that AJ do and the attraction him and Deontay bring by fighting each other, it may not be as juicy as it would have been when they both was undefeated, but it's still a juicy fight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think the public will still want to watch that fight, see kind of might be a loser leaves town kind of match where it's...
I always wanted to see them in the ring with each other. I always wanted to see them throw hands. But the business of boxing sometimes, I wish Turkey probably would have came on 4 years ago.
Right. He put the heavyweight division back on the map. We've seen these big fights happen. How do you think that fight goes, AJ and Deontay?
I think if you think of it as a fight, it's about who lands first. I believe Deontay has a better chin than AJ. I think his punch intake is better. I'm always back my guy, man. Because I know Deontay capabilities. I know what he can do. I know the power that he possessed, the speed that he possessed. Like, you know what I mean? And the mentality that he had, when it's time to cut the on switch on. So I will always back him over AJ or anybody when he's on. You know what I mean? He's still one of the most dynamic fighters in the history of the sport. A couple bad nights at the office can't change that. And he'll be back.
AJ, he got crushed with Dubois. It just wasn't his night. First round on, it just got bulldozed. What do you think AJ needs to do to rebuild at this point?
I just get back in the gym with Ben. They just got to strategize and, go get his title back. But then again, you got to give credit to Dubois. Not just Dubois, Don Charles, and the rest of the team. They had him prepared, not just physically, but mentally. They gave him a good take-control game plan. And Dubois followed that game plan all the way through. And his demeanor when the bell said ding was a take-control demeanor. And he pulled it off, man. You got man doing like that, you got to give him credit. I picked AJ to stop him between 4 and 8 rounds, but I had good reasons for that pick. In his fight against Hercules, he got hit with 18 right hands or something like that in the first 2 rounds. I would never think that he would beat somebody like AJ. Anybody. You get hit with 16 right hands in the first 6 minutes of the fight. I'm not putting my money on you against someone else that has a very good right hand. But that's the sexy part about boxing. That's the sexier part about the heavyweight division. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. So you could be wrong when you think you got it right. But the difference is, to me, some people are wrong with their opinion or prediction because they have this favoritism thing. My opinion is data-based. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at performance rate. I'm looking at punch intake. I'm looking at sequences. I'm looking at how many punches you take from your opponent, and it's his best shot. Hercules' best shot is his right hand.
Right.
And someone with their best shot was able to hit Dubois 16, 17 times in the first 2 rounds. If you do the math on that, nothing about that fight says physically he was going to beat AJ, but mentally, when you look at that fight, and you look at the mentality that he had against Hagler, it all makes sense on why he was able to do that with AJ. He had a take no shit attitude. He had a take control attitude. And him and Don Charles, man, salute to them. They got it done, and on to the next for all of us.
What's your message to the critics who are saying AJ should retire, Deontay should retire? You're a former heavyweight who knew when it was time to retire. What's your message?
Just shut up and enjoy the show. Because if y'all really want them to retire, then when they fight, don't tune in. Don't pay your hard-earned money to go to the fight, if that's what you really want. But people will say that, oh, I don't want to see this person get hurt. Well, then don't watch him when he fights. It's just the hypocrisy of boxing fans, you can say. But it's fun. It's entertainment. I understand all aspects of this shit. I understand fans. I understand fighters. I understand managers. I understand promoters. We all have a perspective of some sort, depending on the subject. So, as long as everybody is respectful, keep their hands to themselves, you allowed to say your opinion, but just be respectful and always respect these fighters because they're putting a lot on the line for the entertainment of others. So.
Obviously, AJ would be a great fight for Deontay. Who else do you think would be in strong consideration?
Who else is there? I don't know, the heavyweight division. Somebody said something to me the other day about the heavyweight division, and what they said made so much sense. It's like, you can't even name 10 guys who are in high demand in the heavyweight division. You're lucky if you can name 5. So the top guys, to keep consumer revenue coming in and excited, they always will have to fight each other, no matter how old they get. The names become profitable from a consumer standpoint, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, the heavyweight division is alive and breathing, and it's good right now, but it could be a lot better.
I feel like if Deontay has one more fight left in him to see if he still has it, Andy Ruiz, Jarrell Miller could be two.
Yeah, all those guys are right there in the mix. You know, Turkey is in control of all of this right now, obviously. You know, we'll see what he do. We'll see what fights he want to make, because that's who, at this moment right now, it's all about what Turkey believe the fans want to see.